most trustless name in news.
You gotta keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it? You make it work for you.
Keep on keeping on, my friends. Just like Dirty Joe, aka Joe Dirte, a certain cryptocurrency is keeping on despite having the mud slung at it. Is it done? How much is in there? It's rising from the ashes and is on a certain path of tokenization beyond the confines of the crypto sector. It's branching out and taking over the world of traditional finance.
It's a big old frozen chunk of shit.
And this crypto just may have big news coming this week. What's a token and what's the news? Well, life's a garden. Dig it, because it's time for Chico Crypto. Who is that token rising from the ashes? Well, let's just look at the price chart to see if you can guess. In the middle of September, this token was sitting at about $5.85. In a month and a half, it has basically doubled, sitting over $11 today. Looking at the market cap, this has also doubled. In just a month and a half, it has gained $3 billion in cap. I'm sure many of you guessed it, but for those who didn't, this coin is just like Joe Dirt.
I got the poo on me.
It's stinky and stanky, but never gives up. It's Chainlink. And let me tell you, Chainlink could have some big news this week regarding a certain monetary powerhouse of a country, Hong Kong. I'm predicting Chainlink is involved with their CBDC, and I'm going to show you exactly why. But first, why should one listen to what I have to say? Well, I've been pretty damn accurate with my Link Partnership predictions in the past. Just last month, it was announced that the DTCC, the Depository Trust Clearing Corporation, and Chainlink were partnering together to bring capital markets on-chain. This is massive because the DTCC processes the majority of securities transactions in the world. In 2022, they processed 2.5 quadrillion, not billion, not trillion, but 2.5 quadrillion. And Chainlink is hand in hand with them in bringing these securities on chain. And the DTCC is going to be working with Chainlink and its CCIP. Stephen Prosperi, executive director of the DTCC, spoke at Chainlink SmartCon about this. Let's hear now.
Most of the initiatives that we take on, we look at how can this plug into multiple blockchains and how can things coming down the pike like CCIP be used to help us kind of maintain that view, and again, to not build something that's already built and to not have to stand up infrastructure to support 100 blockchains. If we can support one piece that can then plug into those 100 blockchains today, maybe 200 blockchains tomorrow.
Well, guess who predicted this all the way back in 2020? Your boy Chico did. First, we need to hear Steven in his SmartCon talk say something about their early blockchain work.
We decided to lean into it, and we put together something we called Project Whitney and looked at what does it mean to tokenize a security from our perspective of market infrastructure provider. We learned a whole lot from doing that, and we engaged with kind of all walks of industry participants, custodians, broker-dealers, exchanges, and all of that informed efforts that we're doing right now under the name of DSM, Digital Securities Management.
Project Whitney. Well, in 2020, I put out a video covering Project Whitney from the DTCC and all of Chainlink's involvement, which was on many levels. But today I'm going to attempt to do this again. From my research, predict another massive Chainlink partner, and that is with the country of Hong Kong. Back in June of this year, it was announced that Hong Kong was working on a digital version of their currency, the Hong Kong dollar HKD. And they were partnering with 16 companies to test this out in the real world. They only named 3 of the companies they are working with, although one of the 13 not named, I can almost guarantee was Chainlink. Why? Well, one of the named companies leads us to that stinky coin, and that is Standard Chartered. The results of this pilot must have went extremely well, and they are getting the groundwork laid for this to go live, because just yesterday it was announced that Standard would be providing Bitcoin and crypto custody for the country of Hong Kong. So how does Standard Chartered lead back to Chainlink? Well, let's continue. Just 4 days ago, before the announcement of custody for Hong Kong, Standard Chartered and Deutsche Bank announced a successful pilot for the transfer of stablecoins and CBDCs. And the network they used was called the UDPN, or Universal Digital Payments Network. Guess who is behind this? Well, in 2021, it was announced, and it was developed by the China state-backed BSN, or Blockchain Services Network. Guess who has partnered with the BSN? Well, they have integrated their oracles. Yeah, you guessed it, it's Chainlink. Connecting those dots, something I love to do. So let's connect them even further. Have you ever heard of InvestHK? Well, from the wiki on them, we can see it says Invest Hong Kong is the department of the Hong Kong SAR government, responsible for foreign direct investment, supporting overseas businesses to set up and expand in Hong Kong. Well, King Luong, head of financial services and fintech for InvestHK, attended Chainlink SmartCon, and guess what they had to say?
Well, first of all, we have been talking to and working with Chainlink. Again, it's a great company. We would love the vision, and more specifically, the CCIP, the cross-chain, the interoperable protocol is something that we like what they do, and that could be the one kind of major infrastructure breakthrough that we are able to connect the different chains.
Chainlink is a major breakthrough, the key infrastructure piece. So a Hong Kong-backed foreign investment firm is bullish on Chainlink and its CCIP. But is the actual government, the Hong Kong SAR, looking at and adopting a Chainlink for their announced CBDC? Well, Joseph Chan of the Hong Kong SAR was at Chainlink SmartCon as well and spoke on just this. What did he have to say? Let's hear.
Well, in terms of CBDC, right, HKMA, which is our de facto central bank in Hong Kong, it announced the commencement of the Hong Kong dollar pilot program in May this year. Indeed, a total of 16 firms from financial, payments, technology sectors have been selected to participate in the first round of pilots for this year. The pilots will take deep dives into potential use cases in 6 categories, including full-fledged payments, programmable payments, offline payments, tokenized deposits, settlement of Web3 transactions, and settlement of tokenized assets as well. This pilot program is actually a key component of Rail 2 under the HKMA's 3-rail approach in paving the way for the possible implementation of the retail CBDC in Hong Kong. Under the pilot program, the HKMA will conduct a series of pilots in close collaboration with various stakeholders.
Did you see what Joseph did when he said various stakeholders? He used his hands to point to Sergey. Let's rewatch now.
Under the pilot program, the HKMA will conduct a series of pilots in close collaboration with various stakeholders.
When you see what others don't, like I do, it's obvious Chainlink is a stakeholder in Hong Kong's EHKD project. So could there be a big announcement this week regarding Chainlink in Hong Kong? Well, if you didn't know, Hong Kong is having their big fintech conference this week, Hong Kong FinTech Week. And guess who is speaking? Searching by Sergey in speakers, we can see that Nazarov is speaking. And clicking into it, he isn't speaking on a side stage, but is speaking on the center stage with the topic cross-chain interoperability, the missing piece for tokenized real-world assets to finally take off. If you didn't know, tokenizing paper money, Hong Kong dollars, is a tokenization of real-world assets.
I think all I got's like $450.
Well, viewers, what do you think? Will I pull another Chico prediction for Stinky Link, or am I way off? Let me know down in the comments. And if you think I'm way off, do you want to fight? Why don't you stick your head up my butt and fight for air? Cheers. I'll see you next time.
The most trustless name in news.